Yay, I'm so excited to have you back. I think this is the best ever possible way to kick off the new year.
Yeah!
And I know that our group is super excited about your session. A lot of them attended the last one. I know, Teresa, you even started working with Molly.
Yeah, we've been doing so much together with clients of hers, and it's been awesome.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That makes me really happy. And I'm so excited to talk about this topic because I will be so frank with you. I do nothing with it. And I don't know anything about it. And I'm in social media and I do social media management every single day for our clients. And so this is something that I really need to get up on.
We are going to change that today.
Good. Okay, well, if you guys have any questions throughout for Molly, put them in the chat and I will try and interrupt her, but I know she's got slides and a whole presentation, and so I'll just turn it over to you. We're going to talk about chatbots.
All right. Okay, so first of all, before we jump into the slides and everything, as Claire just said, like she hasn't dabbled in this really, or maybe she's dabbled, but she's not using it like hardcore yet. So I know that the actual technical side of building all of this can be a little like, whoa, what's happening? So today we're really focusing on the strategies and the ways, no matter which tool you use, like I'm going to talk mostly about ManyChat, but no matter which tool you use, this is something that you can apply to your business and the business that you're doing for your clients. Cool. So if you have questions, Claire, you know that I talk really fast.
I will act as an intermediary for the group. If anyone has questions, put them in the chat and I'll try to get a word in.
Awesome. And then also, if at any point you want to be like, Mahoney, English, that would be okay too, because sometimes I know that I'm not always speaking English. So we'll get that to work also. Okay, so let me dive in. I'm going to screen share, hopefully. I think I'm just going to screen share where you guys can see, like I'm not going to take over my whole screen so that I can still see you guys. So what I mean is like this. So because otherwise it's going to take over my whole entire screen and I won't be able to see you. So it's like kind of sloppy over here on the side, but that'll be all right. Hooray! Okay, so this is our messenger bot client attraction and conversion machine. So first of all, obviously, I want to start with the fact that you're awesome. I know coming back in like this re-entry period, I don't know, can I get an amen or a hand raised or something? Thank you, Claire. Holy Moses, like coming back in has been a little cuckoo. So thank you for taking this time to be here, especially this week as we're starting off the year. And like, Teresa and I were talking about it this morning. It's just getting back in, it's kind of kooky. So we're going to kick it off with a bang. Here's what we're going to cover just to get your brain in mind. There's a lot. It's going to be awesome. So what are the different types of chatbots available? What are their price points? How can we give your bot a human conversational voice? Because this is really about using this automated tool to create more human connections. So we get some resistance from clients sometimes who are like, I don't want to set up this thing where it's just going to be an automation that's going to bother someone. It's really about using your voice and the voice of your client and the voice of whatever character you create within your bot to have that conversation with your audience. What brands have been experiencing successfully with chatbots and AI, that's going to be cool. What not to do, some of the common pitfalls, because there's some major mistakes that I love being a crash test dummy, so I figure out those things first so that you don't have to. Where AI is heading, like what's going to be next. The best practices so that you stay within Facebook's terms of service, that your links work properly, and your community doesn't get confused. So we want to limit the unsubscribes, and we also want to know that when people unsubscribe, like that's okay. We're also using this kind of as a polarizing tool where it's building a really really enthusiastic community of people who want to hear from you, and the people who unsubscribe, it's totally fine. Like, good, okay, goodbye. Give them a chance to unsubscribe. Actually, sometimes that's my goal because I don't want to be paying more for my subscriber list for people who don't actually want to be there, right? A simple plan that took one of my Facebook Live videos to a reach of over 1 million organically, which was super crazy cool. I'm going to walk you through that whole little process. And then I actually took these ones out because I was afraid I was going to go over time. If we have extra time, I will show you one single bot automation system that I did that allowed us to bring in, allowed my client to bring in 47 sales within 2 hours, like without really any planning, just put this thing out there and brought in 47 sales. And another bot broadcast that brought in 40 sales within 30 minutes. And I have a real-time video. Claire, I don't know if I've shown it to you, but I have a video of this happening, and I'm recording it from my phone, like not even using Loom or ScreenFlow or anything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like freaking out as all the sales are coming in, because it's so cool to watch it happen. Yeah. If we don't have time to cover those two, Claire, I'll send those to you and actually I'll just send them to you guys so that you guys can have access to those tips as well, because they're really cool. And then I'm going to show you 6 ways that you can build your list right now, because setting up the whole system and then doing nothing with it does you no good, right? So we want to actually make sure that we're building that community. And the 3 steps that you can take right away so that you can build the list effectively. Really, really cool. Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. And as you can tell, I get really excited and I talk super fast. So, Claire, I ask you and I ask everyone here to do 2 things. One, like stay focused for yourself. You can put the word focus in the chat if you want to do that. And also stay focused to me, because I get excited and get on tangents sometimes. So you have every permission to be like, Mahoney, focus.
You're good. Be you. Be you.
Yeah. Okay. And oh, you won't have access through Sunday. You'll have access forever. So I'm a total overachiever and I've probably put too much in here. So if that happens, like I said, I can send you guys these slides. I love you, Claire, and I love being here to support you guys. So you have access to this forever, and just know as I go fast, you can watch it again slowly. Okay. This is the video that I did that had the reach of over 1 million people with 2,000 reactions and over 1,000 comments. This is not a normal number for me. We are really excited about the engagement that we've built up on our Facebook page, but we've never had anything do this. So I'm thrilled to be able to show you guys how we did it. And just to prove, la 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 la. Oh my gosh. Amazing. Okay, now once I've shown you this, truth be told, we did spend $90 in ads, but it was to something else that led people to get here. So
I mean, $90 for 1 million views, I'll do it any day.
I know, it's so cool. So, and at this point, actually, because I checked this video yesterday, I think it was a reach of over 1 million, and then it had 32 or 39,000 actual views on the video, which is crazy. So, yeah, and I think we had over 200 people join our list from this as well, which was awesome. Yeah. Okay, so what is a bot? What the heck is this thing? It's a way to automate your Facebook business page messenger. So the same way that you would automate your email list, like with ConvertKit or with MailChimp, it's exactly the same thing, but you do it via your business page messenger. So it doesn't work in a group. It doesn't work on your personal page. I do have some hacks to be able to use it in those places, but really, this is a way to automate your business page messenger and to set up a series of if this, then that. So you can pre-schedule conversations that your audience can have by choosing the answer they would give, and then you pre-scheduling a response to that answer. It's seriously powerful, and also it can get really confusing if you aren't super clear in the languaging that you use within it and the options you give your audience and the way you keep track of it all behind the scenes. So I'm going to kind of show you some good best practices about that. And like with Teresa and I, we are working on bots for Be Live. And so we have like 4 different hosts. Joel Comm is doing 2 shows a week. Like there's so much going on in what's happening that we've segmented there. So I have loads of tips. And if you have questions about that kind of stuff, I would love to support you in that. Okay, why Messenger? Because we know we don't own Facebook. And so eventually, this is like my version of the Facebook zombie apocalypse. Eventually, yes, you do need to get people off of the Facebook and Messenger platform. However, the email open rates have been so low, right? This is the average open rate and click-through rate from MailChimp. And I love how they divided this up with company size, because it's interesting to see how that changes from that. So the average open rate with email, according to MailChimp, is around 20%. The click-through rate is around 2%, 2 or 3%. It's pretty crazy. And so what we found is that if we can engage our audience via Messenger first, where the open rates, oh my gosh, I don't have that slide in here. Okay, the open rates for Messenger are around 80% right now, which is insane. And I'm seeing this consistently. Like most of my clients, their open rates are around, it's weird, they're all like 78%. So it's like right around there. And that, it varies depending on what type. We're always testing all sorts of things. But our clients who have really engaged audiences and they're really sending these very specific types of messages, that 78% seems pretty consistent, which is so cool. And the click-through rate tends to be around 50%, which is insane. So if you can start building that relationship with your clients in Messenger, a platform that they actually open where it can be playful, it's like quick and easy, it's not overcrowded yet, right? And then move them to email from there, then you've built that relationship in a way where they're actually paying attention to what you're saying. And when you send something that's offering them something to purchase, they're more likely to see it, first of all, and then you've built that relationship so they're more likely to buy. A lot of times people will say like, oh, this works really well for this type of industry, but not for me. So I have lots of different slides showing you different types of clients that we've worked with. This, and I know Clara, I think about you all the time. Because, Clara and I talk often about how more of her clients are, we don't talk as often as we should, by the way.
I know.
I cannot wait to see you soon. But more of her clients are brick and mortar, and more of ours are like influencers or people who are they're more of a personal brand. And so I love that we were able to do this for this company, which is West Coast Arborists, and they are a municipal tree trimming company, and they also sell wood slabs. So we did 2 different campaigns for them. One was actually for hiring, which was awesome, and they had an amazing response. Look, 151 shares on their hiring post, which I think is kind of crazy. Yeah.
For municipal, none of us can ever complain again that we have unsexy clients who can't get good organic reach, because if a municipal wood company can get 100 shares on their employment post, we can do it.
Totally. And they had been using like Craigslist and other things like that. And once we did this, and I've worked with this company for several years, and once we did this, they were like, what did you do? We don't understand. Like, how did this happen? So that was pretty cool. Also, for this wood slab, I will mention that's a picture of my sexy husband with the wood slab. So this wood slab, though, they made me turn this ad off because they ran out of slabs. They were like, we don't have anything else to sell. Like, turn it off. But look, what I love about this too, and this is something that I always love to do, is look the organic reach compared to the paid reach. I love that the organic reach is still so big right there. Like, it's not like all paid reach. And with this one, 809 shares.
That's crazy.
What? It's so cool.
Slabs, I would share that too.
Yeah, right. I know. And all we offered with this, like sometimes with a wood slab, we wonder what the lead magnet could be. All we offered with this was the address of the location.
Wow.
Like if you read this, did you know that we're now selling slabs at a location in Ontario? When trees need to be removed, we aim to preserve their beauty by creating beautiful slabs that you can use for your woodworking projects. Comment below this post with the word slab, and then we'll send you the location. So when they commented with the word slab, our bot responded to them and then brought them into our messenger system where we gave them the address, could answer questions, and follow up in a different way.
I love that, because then you got to capitalize on that early engagement, and Facebook thought, wow, this is an interesting thing because so many people are commenting. Even though they were all commenting the word slab, Facebook was just registering that as number of comments and was probably showing it to a greater amount of people. Because
exactly. And so that's why it really increases the organic reach, because it builds, it feeds Facebook, right? So it tells Facebook people want this information. It also builds social proof, because when other people see it and other people are commenting, they're more likely to comment and want in on the magic, right? Now, you want to be careful with this whole engagement bait craziness that's going on. So Facebook recently released an update that said that they will be showing less organic reach to engagement bait type posts. But we've found that 2 different things. One is, as long as it's like really speaking to what your audience wants and people start commenting right away and you're putting an ad to it, Facebook's like, awesome. It has not affected that. We've played with using different words, like instead of saying comment below, we'll say give a shout out with the word yada yada. Like, so playing with those words in case their robots are actually searching for the words comment below.
Okay.
Yeah, just like things to keep in mind recently.
Yeah, totally.
Service-based professionals, like we are. So this is, like I showed you, I'm going to show you the whole entire process that got us to this reach of over 1 million people, which is so cool. We have loads of direct sales clients that are seeing insane reach with this stuff for contests that they're doing, where it's like comment below to be entered and then join our Facebook group. So when people comment below and they have to follow up via the bot inside Messenger, and then they get into the Facebook group. And so it creates this awesome cycle, right? And then they can be updated about live sales or different things like that they're doing. We also have one client who has used this for sponsoring within direct sales, and it's been awesome, like crazy amazing. And we've used the same system to set up strategy calls where they comment below if they're interested to book a session. And then within the bot, we actually pre-qualify them, like asking them all these separate questions in the bot, and they answer and they book a call.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And
okay,
so these bots are intelligent enough to pick up on varying ways that people ask the same question.
So we're asking them the question and then they have to fill out the answer.
Okay. Or varying ways that people would respond. Because I feel like sometimes this bot could break if people are like, oh, well, you know, you're like, what is my address? And they respond, well, do you want my mailing address or my, you know, and then you're like,
Yep.
well, now you've broken the bot.
So there are times when I call it bots gone wild. That happens from time to time. So you want to make sure there's always a human who's keeping an eye on it. But there's ways to set up little triggers. So within, this is called in ManyChat, the tool that I use called ManyChat. The way that this works, you set up a custom field and you can determine, do you want it to be text? Do you want it to be a phone number? Do you want it to be an email address? Do you want it to be this? And if they don't respond with a phone number, for example, then it'll say, oops, it looks like you didn't leave a phone number. Please leave a phone number. And then they can also say skip.
Okay.
And then if we have other things set up where it'll notify us and send us a message to let us know, like, ooh, something weird happened. Go check this out.
Okay. But the idea is never to trick them into thinking that this is a human being responding to them.
Amen. And so we always give our bot a name. It's hard sometimes when I'm writing, I have to even now I still have to check myself, but we give it a name. And so we don't say, I will be live at this time. I say, we will be live at this time. Or I say, hey, Mollybot here. Mine's name is Mollybot.
Cute.
We have a client who has his dog, Lou, as the bot. And so we use a picture of his dog that's like, hey, Lou here.
Right.
Jay has asked me to keep you informed when he goes live.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. And the more like kitschy and funny you make it, depending on your brand, right? You want to stay clear to your brand. The better, right? Because then, or if it's, some people have, like I have one friend who has a bot named Jeeves, and it's like his butler that takes care of the messenger. So it can be really.
That Aflac has the Aflac duck bot.
Oh, totally. That's perfect. And so Domino's is using, this is so cool. Domino's is using a bot. His name is Dom. And you can order a pizza directly through their messenger.
Amazing.
Like every little thing. And we've tried playing around with it, and it's funny to see like what happens when you type in different things.
Yeah.
Super cool. The other reason is it's free. Hooray. Kinda. So let's talk a little bit about the different platforms. So I call it ManyChat sometimes because people think I say mini chat. But ManyChat, M-A-N-Y chat, that seems to be, to me, looking at all the differences between what they offer and the price point, and the support that you get within the community. This seems to be the best one in our space. There's also Chatfuel, which is a higher price point to have the branding removed. But I think when you look at like as it gets up in levels, it ends up being about the same price. The only thing with Chatfuel, from what I've heard, and I've played with it a little bit, is that it's harder to track the actual clicks. And I love within ManyChat, I can see exactly how many people click on which thing. Yes, a couple days ago, I sent out, we were trying to find a hashtag for my community. It was like craziness, and we were doing a vote. So I sent out 2 options as a vote. And I could see exactly how many people had voted for each thing by what they clicked on, which is really cool. And awesome for showing like conversion rates to our clients and click-through rates for our clients. And then the other one that I've looked at is Message Hero, and Message Hero seems pretty good. It's a higher price point, but you get unlimited amount of bots for your like you can use it for your clients, and you have unlimited pages. With ManyChat, the paid version is $10 a month, which is like nothing, but it's per page. So you'd have to have each client actually, pay the $10 a month. And keep in mind, as with most of these things, it goes up the more subscribers that you have.
And then with some of my clients, we have like a parent-child relationship on Facebook. So they might have 50 Facebook pages. So that might not be super helpful because they have a page for each location. If that makes sense.
Oh, totally.
They're overall brand page, but then they have one for, a Fort Worth location, a Dallas location, Austin, all that.
That is such a good point. So it may be better for you to use something like Message Hero might actually be a better option for you because it's more of an agency model, right? Which obviously is, but yeah, when you have something like that with the franchises, that's a good point. Yeah, because you'd want to have things segmented really specifically to your audience. And I didn't do a screenshot of this one, but there's a place that did a pub crawl. I totally thought of you because you do a lot of stuff with restaurants. Super cool what you can do that way. Yeah. Cool. Okay. I love this quote from Gary Vaynerchuk, and how I know most of you know this, but I just want to reinforce the fact that really, I'm going to read this. Okay, so unfortunately, it seems like most people or most everyone is still marketing like it's 1999. Some people even market like it's 1979. The mistake they're making is this: they're not following where the consumer attention is going. And in marketing, we need to be placing the importance on attention, not impressions. Anyone who doesn't realize that the cell phone is exactly the same thing that the television was in 1965 is completely ignoring the future. As you read this, is your phone within 5 feet of you? Even though I said to put it away into focus, right? I thought so. Facebook video is sitting on an enormous amount of targetable consumer data, and it creates the ultimate marketing machine. So one piece I think that most people in the social media space are still missing is this messenger thing. Yeah. And you can actually even retarget people who have corresponded with you via messenger now. So if you build up this messenger list and then are able to retarget those people as well, it's like there's so many things we can do. And how often are you at a restaurant, or you're at, I keep saying restaurants because I know you have a lot of restaurants, Claire, but I would love to know actually who are most of your clients for everyone else who's here?
Yeah, let us know in the chat. I know a lot of people have personal brand clients. Some have e-commerce. Honestly, I do feel like I hear a lot of people in similar situations as you, Molly, in this group, is that they have, like Teresa said, personas, influencers.
Yeah.
A lot of personal brands.
Awesome.
In this group.
Awesome.
But we have like e-commerce, nonprofit. We're about a 50-50 split between brick and mortars now and other businesses.
Online. Yeah. Awesome. So, you guys know this, everywhere that we are, we're on our phone, and for not everyone, but for most, a huge number of people, they are using Messenger or messaging apps as a way to communicate. So we're not hanging out in our email inbox. We're hanging out on Messenger and sending fun gifts. Like, you can put gifts in here. You can make things really playful and really give the user the experience of going through something. And it's totally that gamification thing also, right? You can make it really silly, and they can just have fun. It's fun and entertaining, and it makes them feel like they're winning each time they click on something. It's like a new little win. So with that, we want to make sure that we're using this to build strategic connections and real relationships, because it would be really easy to just automate this whole thing and remove the human aspect. But we have seen all over the place that what's coming up next is that our audiences are more and more savvy. And so they're not responding to that blanket, like just send the same thing to everybody and we'll trick you into believing this is an evergreen webinar. This is a live webinar. And I'm saying, I can't read your comments because I'm so focused, but really you can't read your comments because it's not live, yo. Like, it makes me crazy. So this is back to what we were saying before. Like, are you a bot or are you a human? And so you want to give it a voice and then let them know every once in a while. And I use the hashtag human Molly when I come in. So it's like bot Molly and human Molly. Okay. And I use the hashtag and come in and like, hey, human Molly here. And I connect as a real person. Right. So, and even though sometimes people are like, wait a minute, you mean I have to actually respond to my customers or clients? Yes, they're your customers and clients. Like, get over it. So, So really getting clear about who your client is as a human and who your ideal client is as an actual human. And when you're sending those messages, preview it and read it from the side of them, like of a human going through it, and making sure you're really careful about all the languaging within there is really important.
Cool.
Okay, so I'm going to show you how I did one video with one bot growth tool. So the growth tool within ManyChat is like the way that you bring in leads. So there's lots of different growth tools that you can have. They call them other things in different platforms, but across the board, you can do a landing page, which I'm going to show you later. It's like a straight up actual website page that all they do is click a button and they're subscribed via Messenger. You can do pop-ups and bars on your website. You can even do a really cool, which I can show you this later. There's a chat feature that you can add to your website and it connects straight to your Messenger now. So I'll get a notification. It says like someone has done something, this person has done something you should know about. I go and I check and they are on my website asking questions. So cool. There's something called a Messenger ref URL, which is, it's a link. When they click on it, they don't see anything else. It just sends them a message right away, which is really cool. And then that comment tool that we talked about, which is, we're going to talk about that here, where they comment below and then they get a message. And that's really cool. There's just like so many crazy options. It's amazing. There's a weird like Messenger QR code type thing also, you know, that little circle with all the lines around it. There's lots of ways to bring people in. So I did one video with the comment below growth tool and one bot broadcast. So that's where you send a message out to your audience. It's all, you're able to segment the whole thing because you're tagging your people as they come in. And then, and I think you guys know this, but sometimes people think I mean like you're tagging them on Facebook. You're tagging them like on the back side of things, like you're putting a label on them like you would in an email service provider.
Okay.
You're not tagging them on Facebook because that would be annoying. Okay. And $900 in ad spend. So we promoted this video with $900. I wish I had done 9,000 because it worked so well. And that's like, this is one of the biggest things I wish I'd spent more money on. We did 200 sales in 3 weeks, 40 sales within 30 minutes, a total of 400 sales in 1 month. This was a $97 product, which we raised the price to $197 eventually. So it was around there for 400 sales. And then we sold several of our private coaching as well. So we did a total of $90,000 in sales.
Wow.
Which blew my mind. It was like crazy town. And it was like, I'm going to show you the whole thing. So I started with this little video. My friend and I were at lunch and she was mentioning, and this is where it's really big to listen to your clients, because she was mentioning an issue that she was having in her business. And I was like, if one more person tells me that they can't get engagement on their Facebook page because of whatever, I swear I'm going to throw something at them. And she was like, well, could you do a training on it? And I said, yes. And she said, how much would you charge? And I was like, $97. She's like, great, let's put it together. So in 15 minutes, I had a sales page up. And I hadn't delivered the training yet. It was in a private Facebook group. We planned it like a month away. We got it on the calendar. And I just want to show you this video quickly so you can actually see the beginning of how casual this is and how I'm just speaking to a specific audience. How do I go to page? Let me see if this actually works. Hold on, I have to stop share to take you there. Okay. Ta-da! Okay. And one, go away. All of my messages from everyone on Facebook. Okay.
Messenger bots work. Look how well.
Look at that. So the other thing I want to point out is that we didn't actually have a bot connected when I created this video. So I created this video first, and then I set the bot up later. So if you have something like this, like an old post or an old video where you've said comment below with a specific word, you can set up a bot after the fact. We love to do it where you pre-schedule your videos so that you can set it up before, but it doesn't have to be that way. So just watch the beginning of this and see how this works.
Hey, this is a special video that I am doing live, and it is only for LuLaRoe consultants. So if you are not a LuLaRoe consultant, I want you to just turn the video off. You can turn it off. You don't need to be here. If you are a LuLaRoe consultant, this is for you. I was at brunch the other day with my friend Danielle, who is a LuLaRoe consultant. She's a rock star, one of my best friends and clients. And she was like,
so I'm just like telling them about the problem, super casual. And I asked them in the video to comment below with the word connect. I also asked them to comment below with the word connect right here, right? So you can see we had 60 shares, we had over 2,000 comments, we had 37,000 views, and we spent $900 on this. So I have to stop sharing again. Okay, so from there, we sent them a message that said, I'm so glad that you're interested in this training. If you'd like more information, or you have to reply to this message with the word connect. So this is really big. When people comment below and they get that initial message from you, they are not subscribed.
Okay, right.
So,
they have to opt in somehow.
Yeah, by replying to your messenger. So anytime they send you a message, they're subscribed.
Okay.
So when they reply, it's like a double opt-in. So you have to make sure that you get them to reply to the message. And that we've been seeing about a 75% conversion rate of the people who actually respond. Right. So you may have to go in, if you want to like up that, you may have to go in and be like, hey, did you still want this? Mm-hmm. Totally fine. Or just take the 75% conversion rate and go on with your life. Yeah. Okay, so we did that. We had 200 people. Or we had 1,200 people had opted in. We had 200 people make purchases. And I was like, okay, so we still have this 1,000 people that are still hanging out there. Like, what are we doing with this? So I sent out one message that said this. It said, hey, are you still interested? Or did you end up signing up for the training that you had asked for information about? They could click yes. When they clicked yes, it said, awesome, go check your email inbox for the information. They could click not yet. When they click not yet, it said, oh, we are actually providing loads of value already. If you just wanted to let you know, no pressure, but the price goes up tomorrow. And I decided to raise the price the next day. And then I had another one that said, I'm not interested. So I'd allow them to segment themselves out right away so that you're not annoying people, right? You want to give them the chance to segment themselves out. Okay, so watch what happened when I sent this. Ugh. Shoot. Oh man, I thought that was the actual video. Dang it. Okay, hold on a second. This is going to show you the video. Mahoney.
No,
can you see it? Oh, you can't see it. Okay, I'm pulling it up. Hold on.
Yeah, you have to screen share that.
Yeah. La, 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 la. Okay, is this all making sense so far, though?
Yes, definitely. This is awesome. I'm mostly trying to brainstorm as you're talking about how to use this for my clients.
Okay. Cool. So as I'm pulling this up, if you have other questions about that, I would love to answer them.
Yeah, I could definitely, if we have time, start spitballing some of my clients, and some of the people can do that as well in the chat. Or we can just reach out to Molly after the fact. And yeah, because I'd love to just go down the list of clients that I have and say, you know, if this were you, if these were your clients, you know, what could you do for them?
Yeah. Okay, here we go. I forgot I have this here. So, okay, so okay. I'm not going to make you watch the whole entire thing. So I walk, and I can send this to you also. I walk through the whole entire process.
So it's like segmenting everybody out right away. It's so crazy.
So you can see everyone responding.
So I'm going to start answering questions
in real time.
God, that is crazy. That makes me want to quit everything and just make products, downloadables.
That is crazy.
So you can see like it all happening in real time and watching the conversations that they're having.
Yeah.
And then you can come in and actually, like someone responded, where is it? So I could go in and answer that as a human.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we ended up having 40 sales within 30 minutes, and it ended up taking us 200 more sales from that one broadcast, which I was like, oh, what on earth is happening? Yeah. But this is something, honestly, that you can do for specials, like tickets for events at your locations, or like if you're doing a fundraising gala, you can, you know, by having that scarcity thing in there and a way to send a message about it that they'll actually open. Yeah, and I'll send you the slides, and you'll be, when you go to the slides, you're able to click on all these things to get the actual videos and all of that. Because you can actually, when you watch that video, you can see my whole, the conversation, the structure of the sequence that I sent in that message.
Awesome.
Cool. Okay, let me pull this back up. Okay, how much time do we have? It wasn't.
It is 12:35, and we can go over a little bit if you have the time. But
Okay, were we doing a 30-minute? Was this only 30 minutes?
no, it's an hour.
Okay, good. Phew. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, we need
So-
more.
Okay, so here, stop before you bot. So these like crazy things seem really cool and like, oh my gosh, they're all automated and it's magic. But you want to make sure that we consider a few things, which is you do not want to be a salesy weirdo. And if you, I mean, this is just like mentioning Gary Vee again, it's like jab, 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 right hook. You really want to be providing value within this, right? So it's not like, I get some things from people where they're just selling all the time or offering a master or webinar or whatever all the time. And we had one client who was just offering she was sending reminders about her sales, and her open rates were like, and then she started sending value, even if it's like fun. Like I have one client that does a thing called Lunch and Laughs, where she does a video. People have to submit their favorite kid-friendly jokes, and then her kids pick the best joke. And people show up just to hang out with her, and she's building a relationship.
Cute.
Right? So this is like some of the tips that I have about making a more human connection. So I have this thing called the Quesadilla of Awesome. It is where you take all of the valuable things that you have to offer in your business and you put them as far away from you as possible. And then you are left with a human being, which is like, ugh, right? And if you're working with a store, like look at that store as a character also. Like what is the essence of that business, and making a list of the things that make you a uniquely awesome human. I call it the Quesadilla of Awesome because everyone has something that makes them uniquely awesome, even if it's just that you make an amazing quesadilla. So I talk more about that in other trainings, but there's like lots of specifics, and it's a really awesome exercise to do, especially when you're feeling like something didn't work the way that you wanted it to. You can go back to your Quesadilla of Awesome and be like, ta-da! Okay. You also want to make sure that you're really clear about your brand. And so this is about your values, about, not just about your colors and all of that, but everything that you do branding wise needs to be infused through your bot. So how are you representing your values and your mission and your personality throughout the bot? Knowing your ideal client as a human being. So we so often get into these demographics things because we're like targeting people in Facebook ads and all of that. And we come up with this avatar. But with this, we really want to think about the actual human that you're speaking to. And the more that you can speak to that human and everything that you do, the more effective it'll be. And you will segment some people out, and that's okay. Like I sent out a message the Sunday after Black Friday, and I didn't have anything that I was selling. I just sent out like a message that said, hey, happy Sunday. I hope you had an amazing holiday weekend. I've seen a bunch of things from my friends, out there. These are all free. I just thought I would share them with you to like celebrate the weekend. And I had someone write me back, and she went off about how she doesn't align with my values because I sent a message on a Sunday. It was like crazy. And I was amazed at my ability to be like, bye, Felicia.
Yeah.
Said about it and recognize like most of the people in my audience were writing back like, this is amazing. Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So sometimes I like to send out things like that. Like I'll send out a video just of a fun song or something like that. And if people unsubscribe, good. Like I don't want to hang out with them anyway. Really be clear about the problems that they're experiencing and recognize how you can solve their problems as often as possible. Not only with your products, but by sharing something else that you know would be valuable to them. So if you have lots of parents in your audience, something that's like a family related tip or whatever it is. And I always go back to drinking water because every human needs to drink more water. And I find that if you don't know how to solve their problem, teach them how to drink more water. It can be that simple. Know your big dream and your scary goal. So you want to be strategic with this, right? It should be moving towards some sort of offer. So if you're going to be planning a launch or an event or a big broadcast that you want to get people to, strategically send that stuff out so that it's guiding them to recognize the value in the offer that you'll be making later. Like looking at the objections that people might have towards purchasing the thing that you're going to sell them in the future and teach to those objections. So there's a book, I think Adam Urbanski taught me about this, but there's a book called Persuasion. Do you know that?
Mm-mm.
It's all about like persuading before you even make the offer. So they don't even know that you're selling to them before you sell. And so as much as you can do that throughout the bot messages, the best. And have something like some sort of juicy free gift. So you want to make sure that all of the way that you're bringing them in is something that's really valuable, really solving their problems, and really sexy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want to remind you also, sometimes when you start this, it feels like a ghost town. I just realized I don't have my microphone plugged in. Usually when I do that, I pull my mic in and I'm like, so it's okay. You're going to start with 0 subscribers. And slowly as each person comes in, like one little tumbleweed's going to come through your ghost town and connect with that tumbleweed, make a difference with them. There's ways that people can even share things straight from within your bot, out of Messenger. So the more real relationships you make on a one-on-one connection level, the more people will share stuff and get it out there. Okay. So I want to talk about the reach of 1 million organically and how that we've used the same system for our clients. This is our client, Ryan, who had 301 people on this live video, actually on live. Since then, they've actually passed 400 people on a video live. And when they first started, they had like 100, when they first started using the system, they had, I think, 120 Facebook likes.
Wow.
So it has like bazonkoed their business.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to show you this thing, and it is called, do I have it written in here? Yes. Okay. It's called the Map to Millions. Okay. So you want to be clear about your business foundations, who you are, who you serve. I can't say that enough. The number one objective of your video and the number one intention with your video. So if your objective is to make a sale, awesome. What is your intention separate from that? It should be something that's more emotionally based, that you want to inspire them or to educate them. Because if you're sticking with your intention being to sell, you come across as a creeper. So, so you're going to start building your messenger list as soon as possible. Get people in there, right? When we did this, we had a messenger list of, I have it written out in a case study that I'll send you. I think it was like 2,000 people or something. Okay, so you're going to create a pre-scheduled Facebook Live. So we love BeLive.tv. And for those of you that don't know what that platform is, it's a really easy way to do Facebook Live straight from your desktop. You can pre-schedule the video so that it creates that little image where people can click get reminders. I'm assuming everybody here knows what that is, but just in case.
And if you don't, the last time we had Molly on, we talked a lot about BeLive. So that training is in the module, and you can go in and watch her all over again.
I keep forgetting that I did that Facebook Live training already here too. So yeah, so some of these things you've heard before, but it's good to reinforce them.
We have tons of new members, so this is the first time to meet you for a lot of people.
Okay, so then you're going to create a Facebook image post with a powerful call to action to join your free training. So you don't want to say, I'm going live on Facebook to solve your problem. You want to say, I'm offering this free training that will be solving this very specific problem. The more specific the problem is, and the more tied it is to the need of your client, the better this will work. And then you're going to create that Facebook comment growth tool. There's 2 types of keywords. This is actually really important. One keyword is the keyword that they use. It's a trigger keyword where they comment below. And the other type of keyword is, we call it the OG keyword sometimes. It's like the original keyword, and it's a standalone keyword within your messenger where if they send a message that says like frame, it sends them a link about frames for your videos. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to have them comment below. It sends them a message. They have to reply with a message. And when they reply, they're sent a link to your pre-scheduled Facebook Live video.
Cool.
This makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what they actually see at that point, so the thing that we're doing is we're driving traffic to the Facebook Live pre-scheduled post, which you're not actually allowed to do. You're not allowed to boost that pre-scheduled Facebook Live until after you're live. So we found it's like a way to work around the Facebook ads limitations with that. So, and then you create a targeted Facebook engagement ad with the graphic that you created with that post. So you put money toward the post, which invites them and sends them to the Facebook Live. So what happened is by the time people got to the pre-scheduled Facebook Live, We also had a call to action to comment below on that pre-scheduled post. So before the Facebook Live started, people were already commenting on it. And it can be as simple as like, are you stoked to be here? What's the biggest thing that you're looking to learn? It doesn't need to be comment baity. It can be like, tell us what you want to hear and we'll address it in the training. And then you have a list of people who are interested to hear about that training. So then you send a message to your list about that training. That makes sense?
Yep.
Raise a town. And so this is what led us to the reach of 1 million. Totally insane. Okay, let's talk about some best practices. So this is so that you stay within the terms of service. When you get these slides, I was going to highlight it. That did not work. I'm not good at slides. This link will take you to the Facebook Messenger platform policies. I am going to send you straight to the source because everyone has different ways of interpreting these rules. One rule that freaks everyone out is that it says that you cannot actually place a link to purchase inside Messenger unless you ask for permission. I was always afraid to ask for permission because I was afraid they were going to tell me no. Mm-hmm. But I asked for permission and they responded. I clicked the link to ask for permission. They responded right away and said, yeah, it's fine. So don't worry too much about that one. You just want to make sure that one of the biggest ones to watch out for is you don't send a promotional broadcast 24-hour, unless it's within 24 hours of when they have responded or interacted with your bot.
Okay.
So a lot of people think, great, someone subscribes. I can only promote to them within 24 hours. What's the point of this? Here's the magic. You send them a message that says like, hey, if I was to tell you that I had an amazing program, would you like to hear about it? They click yes. They have now responded to your bot. You are now opening that 24-hour window again. Or, hey, do you want support? Have you thought about looking for some, we did one for a client. Are you thinking about launching a program next year? They reply with the word yes. Then you have the opportunity to pitch them something.
Gotcha.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, number one key, stop selling and start celebrating. And the more that you can really celebrate the community that you're building there, as opposed to thinking of it as a list that you're just messaging, yuck. Okay, here's some best practices. Admit that it's a bot, which we talked about, right? So give it a name, a face. I said a handsome one like VLive because everyone makes fun of VLives and says that it's ugly. But they are going to redesign it because they didn't like the robot that I created. I gave him a mustache and a top hat, and he's still ugly. But Mari Smith did a whole thing making fun of him, which I think is hilarious. I love it. Okay, so provide value that's not linked to a sale at least once a week. So Katy Perry has an awesome bot. When you go through there, it's really fun gifts and like crazy stuff. But then like 4 months went by before I heard from her. And then she's like, hey, we have a promotion. We were like, what are you doing? So that relationship, right? Don't ghost on people. So in making a sale, don't post a direct checkout link. Link to a sales page or a sales conversation like a webinar. There are ways to integrate PayPal into your bot, but just make sure that you get that permission first by asking them something else first. Watch your language. So this is huge. And if you're using a service like ManyChat, there are many pre-written messages within ManyChat that don't actually make sense. So a lot of times it'll say like, people will say on that first message, they'll say comment below again with the word bot to get the training. So people will go back to the post and comment again.
Yeah.
So instead you need to say reply.
Right.
Right. So
Here.
just really, what'd you say?
Reply here.
Yeah, reply in this message, like reply to this message right here. Right. Another one is, I can't spell. People will, another one is people will say like, are you interested in the yada, yada, yada? And then the choice for a response won't be yes, it will be something else. So if you're asking them a question and the response would be yes or no, give them the response yes or no, so that it feels like a conversation the whole time.
Gotcha.
Right.
Quick question. So so we have a client who we're going to start a lead gen campaign for, and their number one goal is to build up their email list. And I know we're talking about email rates and all of that dismal stuff, but that's really, really what this client wants in the next 3 months. would this be a good way to say comment below? And then our second question is, we want to send you out this free downloadable. What's your email address? We'll shoot it over to you.
Totally. And so there's two ways to do it. And it's actually one of the last slides that I have is exactly that, which is so awesome. Look. So yeah, this is like the easiest way is you don't even need to say, the quick and easy way is to include your link to a landing page.
Right.
So that's how I used to start it. We get them on the bot first, then we send them our landing page. They go to the landing page, they enter their email address there.
Gotcha.
But the super ninja way is you keep it all within Messenger. They respond with their email address, and then you connect it with Zapier.
Gotcha. So then that way you have you have a much higher conversion rate because you knock out the landing page steps. So you're asking them to do one less thing, essentially.
Yes, totally. Yeah. So and it all stays right within there, and you're not sending them other places.
I love it. I'm so excited.
Totally. Yeah, it's amazing. And then you can also, like, if they don't convert to then you have a way to communicate with them both places, which is like so cool.
Yeah, because my client, this is a short contract, and I doubt that they're going to utilize this bot after we leave because they're so strapped. So what they really, really want us to do is build this list, and they'll be happy about it. So if we can do that for them using this bot, that would be awesome.
Totally. Okay. Oh, this is something that's kind of weird, and actually this changes often, and I am trying to figure out the best way. But one thing that's strange, depending on some phones, is when you post a link to a Facebook page, like a Facebook video, a Facebook page, a Facebook group, and you post it within Messenger, some phones will bring it up, not in the Facebook app. They'll bring it up in like a Safari or something else.
Oh.
And it puts a weird block on it. So we have found that if you put the Facebook page link right within the message text instead of in the button, it seems to work a little bit better. But just always test these things, like test them on your phone and play with that. We like to make sure we put a button first, so they have to click the button so that we can track it, and then we send them the Facebook link in Messenger, in the actual message text. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But that one's kind of weird, and it's depending on Messenger updates and stuff. Give the community options. So let them say no, they don't want to be reminded about a certain type of thing. And the more that you can segment them, like on BeLive, it's been a bit crazy because we have so many people. So we allow them to segment themselves out depending on which host they're hearing from. So we can, instead of saying the third option, we always give them the option to watch the video live, watch the replay, because we had a lot of people responding and saying oh, can I get the replay link? And I'm like, it's the same exact link, yo. But people don't know that. So we gave them the option to click replay. And then instead of saying unsubscribe, we'd say no reminders from Molly. And so they can segment out of my personal reminders, but still get reminders from other people.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Use really short conversational phrases and text delays. This is really cool. You can put in a delay so that it's like, it looks like someone's typing.
That's awesome.
Really cool.
Because I know that's the pre-bots, the one thing you could do was set up that automated response to when people message your page, they could get it. But that happens the second they press enter. So it's really obvious that it's not. It's like,
totally.
Hey, get back to you in this amount of time or whatever. But it'd be nice if it's a little more conversational.
Yeah. And I've read or heard somewhere recently that people are more likely to purchase if they have to wait. Some websites will have that thing that it's loading, even though it's not actually loading.
Interesting.
Because it builds up the anticipation.
I need this thing.
Yeah, it's so weird. Place photos and GIFs intentionally. So whatever the last message is that comes through in your sequence, there'll be a little preview of what the message is going to say. Does that make sense?
Sort of.
Let me show you actually. So I'm going to show you on my personal Facebook. We're going to make sure nothing, I don't think anything inappropriate happening on my personal Facebook. But if you, okay. So this is, I'm on my personal Facebook page and I pulled this up. Do you see how I see a little preview?
Mm-hmm.
About from all these people, I can see what's about ready to happen, right? What the conversation is about.
Mm-hmm.
So with this one, you'll notice, move my Zoom thing, if I had put a photo down here instead of the text down here, it would say Molly has sent you an attachment.
Oh.
In that little preview.
Mm-hmm.
So we like to put the photos, for the most part, on the top so that they actually see the text as like a little subject line almost.
Gotcha.
Kind of weird. Okay. Let me go back to where I was. Okay. Okay, and then we'll seriously always preview and click every link, because sometimes, like, we've had situations where clients will accidentally leave the link to the last, like they'll duplicate a broadcast and leave the link to the last thing still in there, or like just preview every link, because there's so many ways for things to get funky.
Yeah.
Because there's so many choices. So no matter how many times you've done it, preview every link. Okay, so let me see where we are now. I kind of skipped ahead there. Okay, there is something that's better than bots. Did you know that?
No.
I said this on my Facebook Live training, I think, that I did here too, which is having a real conversation with a real human. So I just can't reiterate that enough. And, you know, that we do eventually want to get people off of Facebook. Like, Facebook likes are not enough. Our whole Facebook page could disappear. So we want to get people into Messenger as a first step, and then email lists or phone numbers or real hard mailing lists eventually, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to give you your first 3 steps to get started.
Yay.
So you want to create a welcome message that's fun and engaging and provides massive value. So if you go to my Facebook page, if you've never spoken to Mollybot before, when you click on send message, this is only if you've never opted in before any other way. When you click on send message, a box will pop up that says get started at the bottom. And when you click get started, you're opting in. At that point, you're sent a message that's like, hey, I'm Mollybot. And then the picture of Mollybot, like me with Mollybot on my shoulder, pops up. And it's like, I'm here to support you in Facebook Live, Messenger automation, and spreading joy. So, and then it gives you these options where you can choose to get more free value about Facebook Live, more free value about bots. And then I also give them the option to sing a song to them. Like, so it's like fun and engaging. I do this at events. When I'm speaking from the stage, I have people go and click that send message button, and the whole room is like, oh my gosh, they all freak out because they see this real conversation happening. Like at parties, I'll tell people about it and they don't know what bots are, so I show them to click send message, and every time someone's subscribing, right?
Right.
So they click send message, and then this first message happens, and they're able to self-select into different things.
Mm-hmm.
The next step is to create a main menu. So on the bottom, if you look back at, if we go back, I should just share my whole desktop this whole time. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Let's just share my whole desktop. You're going to see all of the crazy so that I don't have to keep going. Okay, so so see this little thing down here at the bottom, this little hamburger menu?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the 3 lines. You click on that, and it brings up this menu. So you can actually have up to 15 things in your menu on your bot.
Cool.
It starts off with 3, and then within here, there's 5. They can go up to 5 different options.
Yeah.
I'd like to, like, here's more here. When you click on these, it's as if they're sending you the message. That's a really good Frozen spot. And sometimes people will click it and it doesn't work, and then everyone freaks out. It's sending 1 million messages to 1 million people all at the same time. So, like, sometimes we have to give it a second to recognize, like, it's working. This is magic. And if it's glitchy, just be patient. So it looks like it's being glitchy right now.
Do people use that hamburger a lot?
Okay, here's the really cool thing. On phones, it's not a menu like that. It actually pops up and shows you the 3 options.
Okay.
So, you know, most people use phones anyway.
Yeah.
With this one, I don't know how many people actually click that, and I don't think people
Right.
that.
Okay.
See why it's not working. Do something.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see this one. Okay, it looks like it's frozen. You know what, and I'll show you one thing actually. So we're gonna go into ManyChat right now because this doesn't happen very often, but sometimes it gets disconnected. So if you're like, something is really weird, you can go in here and, oh, it's actually at the very bottom. Oh, somehow this got small. And if you click, you want to refresh your connection. Oh, yeah, right here, refresh permissions.
Mm-hmm.
And it will refresh the permissions in case for some reason it got like disconnected.
Gotcha.
Okay, so let's go back to my slides. I'll give her a second. Okay, if you're fancy like Les Brown, whose bot we were able to set up, you will be able to instantly get lots of subscribers. Like within 2 days, we set up one thing and it was like 1 million people, right? 1,000 people subscribed right away. But if you're someone who's normal, like most of us, just know that this is going to take a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot this last step, which is create a landing page to a lead magnet or live video notifications. So just a landing page is super easy to create. I created one actually for you guys, so check it out. And this will send you my live video masterclass. It'll send you a case study about bots. And I'll actually, anyone who comes in through here, I'll make sure I send you guys the slides here too. Claire, you can probably just send the slides to everyone. But it comes through as a website just like this, and when they click send to messenger, see how everything works so well. Oh my gosh. Okay, maybe my chat's like down right now.
It looks like
anyway, what's supposed to happen is that it's supposed to bring you a thank you page, and then it automatically sends you a message via Facebook Messenger right away.
Gotcha.
Which is super cool. Okay. So this
That's
one,
bepreparedperformer.com/SMMPro. So
yeah.
I'm going to put that in the chat, and I'll also put it in the group afterwards for y'all that watch the replay.
Perfect. And if it's like being funky, oh look, see it came through. Okay, so it did work.
Ah.
So this is what it sends you. It's like a little GIF. And then someone amazing spending time with you today, as I promised. Here's ways to up-level your client attraction skills. So it sends you these options right away.
Cool.
Right? So fun. And the other ones came through. They just took a second.
Aha.
Yeah, there they are. Okay. Let me show you. So setting up that landing page is like super easy way without having to get too complicated. I also wanted to share with you, are we okay on time? I'm almost done.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are 6 ways to build your bot list like right away. Create a landing page, super easy, like the one that I just shared with you, which is thepreparedperformer.com/SMMPro. Create a ladder post. So this is cool because you can do this in a Facebook group. So you do some sort of post that's like, hey, would you be interested in a training about this? Comment below with this word and I'll give you access. They comment below and you give them a link to the landing page. You go in and respond individually to each comment. So you can do it in a Facebook group or on your personal page. And it still brings them to your bot list, which is cool.
Okay.
Because you cannot connect that comment growth tool inside a group.
Right.
Post an image or video on your business page with a lead magnet or giveaway via the bot link in the comments. Email your list, right, with a free training that can be accessed via this link. You don't tell them it's happening on Facebook Live. They opt in via bot, and then they're just directed to Facebook Live. Launch an accountability service for your clients or community. So we did this within my Camera Confidence program, and there's 30 videos, and we have a bot sequence set up that sends them a message every day for 30 days, keeping them on track. So you could do a daily water reminder. Would you like to be reminded to drink water every day for 5 days? Awesome. And then use a landing page link like I did right now when guesting on podcasts, blog posts, etc. So that the bot is your first entry point, and then you can get them to all your other places from there.
Cool.
Since the open rates are better, it's easier to go that way than it is to go as your email your first entry point because people aren't opening those as much. Okay, so this is where you may get stuck. This is what I'm saying. But if you want to be bot-tastic, you can check out this goodness. Ta-da! And so I'll send you with this link. I'll send you the live video masterclass, the bot case study, and one more piece of magic, which I'm not remembering right this second, but I'll tell you what it is in a second when I look at it. And our Facebook community. So we have an awesome community called Elevate Your Awesome. We call the members of our community Mall Stars, like all stars, and it's really fun and
I'm in it.
Yeah, Claire's there. Yeah, so if we have any questions, I'm happy to answer questions for a couple minutes.
Yeah, Teresa had a couple questions. I know you guys already work together, but I think she was asking more for the group, and I love that she asked this because a lot of us are working with clients. So she said, 2 big questions. How do you present bots as a necessity for strategy, and also structuring pricing for current and prospective clients?
Yes, I would love to talk about that. So one thing that works in your favor on this is that still there's not very many people who do it. So if you, I mean, all you have to do is show them that MailChimp open rate thing. And then I have had a hard time finding open rates for bots printed out somewhere, but create your own chart. It's about 80%. And I think ManyChat did a study recently on theirs. So look at the ManyChat blog, because they just send them to the ManyChat blog, because they have so many amazing case studies of how this is working. You know, and also that Gary Vaynerchuk quote, I think is so great also, that people are so, sometimes businesses are so remiss to recognize the fact that everyone is on their phone and wants to communicate that way. Yeah. And so from there, the pricing structure, you have to remember that this is something that people can't set up on their own, right? So you have a huge advantage if you can set this up for people. We've played with I'm happy to share our prices if you want to know what we're doing pricing wise. I don't know if you want to know that or not.
Go for it if you're open to it.
Yeah. So we have played with a couple different things, and we've tested it, and we see, I mean, a lot of this pricing wise is what your market will hold, right? And recognizing we learned how much work it actually is to maintain it and keep it up. So we are offering, we send one broadcast a week. We do one growth tool a week. So we do that map to millions for all of our clients, because most of our clients are doing Facebook Live. And then we end up doing sequences and all these other things. And because it's a world that they don't understand, there is way more conversations.
Perceived value.
What did you say?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of perceived value because you're the expert. And
Yeah, and because most people don't know how to do it, and it seems really overwhelming. But it also, like, because of that, they get confused, and so there's a lot of questions that we're answering for people.
Yeah.
We have a form that they fill out, like we've systematized our whole thing. So we have a form that they have to fill out by a certain date, letting us know what their lead magnet is, letting us know all of this. And we used to not have a call. We used to just do one call at the very beginning, and then everything was basically these forms, and that did not work. So we've added basically a coaching call accompanying all of our bot stuff. And we added a bump up if they wanted to do Facebook ads with it. So at this point, our full bot build that we do for people, which includes everything that you would need for a bot, like the main menu, the welcome message, the sequences, like literally everything you need, plus a month of support, is $3,482. I think it's like a weird number that we have right now. That's for a full month of support, 2 coaching calls, and the full bot build. And then what we were really working on making our only offer, and this is the offer that we've been selling more of, is actually a package that's at least a 3-month commitment. They get the full bot build, 3 months of support, a monthly call with one of our team members to make sure the strategy is working. And that one is $1,500 a month. And so it's like a great deal compared to the $3,400. Like if they just do an extra $1,500 basic or extra $1,000 basically for the 3 months, then by the time they've invested in it for 3 months, they really start to see the value. When they're only doing that monthly build, like Claire was saying, they can't manage it on their own, and they're like, great, what do I do with this?
Right.
Yeah. So, and it takes about 3 months of putting out value and content to really start to build the list. Like you can't just think you're going to turn it on and build it all of a sudden.
Right.
And then we have a few clients that we're doing Facebook ads with it, only specific to bot Facebook ads. And we add a little bit more on for that one as well.
So do you ever work with clients like I was talking about before that have a much simpler bot that's easier to set up and easier to maintain, that's only for building like an email list or something like that?
Yeah. So every once in a while we'll offer like a mini package that is just like one tool and one like a starter package where they have one tool that they can do as a Facebook ad, and that grows the list, and then they can respond to people individually.
Right. Yeah, because I really like, obviously the Facebook Live is an amazing way to work this tool, but I like even your example about the local business. You didn't use a Facebook Live for them. You just used a picture, some copy, and you said comment down below slab, and then you turned on that bot for them. So that might be an easier way to get some of our clients into this idea,
right?
Without making them personal brands.
Right. Yeah. And it's, if you already have a social media client, like you could say, hey, you know, we're adding this new service. I'd love to set up just one to one, you can call it whatever you want, but like one system for you, and see how it works. And then if you guys like it, we can add on that to your package, and you can add an upsell for that in the future. Yeah, it's like there's so many ways that you can work it in that regard. And then we've also been working, which is awesome. Like we've been working with different people who have lots of clients to set up packages with them so that we can automate, like do these things for them as well, like agencies and stuff like that, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then we have our course, which teaches you how to do all of it. There's like written guides and video guides. And the course that we have is $497. So if you dive in and like spend the time to actually learn all of this, like you can instantly make it back, because you are like a unicorn basically, because there's so few people who actually do it and understand it and do it strategically.
Yeah. Shelly says, would this be beneficial for the sale of one particular health-oriented product?
Yeah, totally. So do you know what Shelly's health-oriented product is?
I don't.
Okay. So
Shelly, if you want to let us know what it is, but otherwise we'll just,
okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I have one member in my community who literally messages me about CBD oil every single day. So like without anything else, she just like sends me links about her oil, and I'm like, talk to me as a human being.
Yeah.
But awesome. Yeah, totally perfect for that. So let's say you do cause it's for pain, right? Like, it's like a hemp product for pain. Mm-hmm. If you do something that's like 10 best stretches for sciatica, comment below. It's for all sorts of things. Awesome. I guess I just have back pain, so that's what I associate with. So if you do the 10 best stretches for sciatica, I would comment below and say the word stretch, and then opt in for this. And then you can say like, you know, these stretches are a really amazing way to feel better. Would you be interested in learning about a product that can give you instant relief?
Right. So that's a free offer that later leads to a sale, but it's giving them something of value first. Right.
And building that list so that you can continue to talk about it. Yeah.
Love it. I love it. This is so exciting. We are over time. I am going to go sign up for the slides for this. Y'all have that link. That's thepreparedperformer.com/SMMpro. And honestly, I think I'll just take your class on this because I need to know, and I need to know it for my clients.
It's super awesome.
Yeah.
Do you want a gift?
Sure.
Do you want a discount code?
I would love one.
So if you use the word unicorn, you can get $200 off.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, well, that's good.
I don't know if you want me to share the link for that. I don't want to be like a salesy weirdo, but I can share.
No. Well, then this works. Well, okay. Actually, I would love the link for the class as well.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, it's automatemessenger.com.
Automatemessenger.com. Okay, cool.
And then just don't tell people, but the code is unicorn.
Okay. Yeah. Secrets in this group. Okay. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh, I know I spelled messenger wrong. Cheapers creepers. I cannot.
Automatemessenger.com. Okay. Secret password unicorn. Cool.
Yes.
Well, I'm really excited. I think we're definitely going to take this. And I love having you on all the time. You are always like 3 steps ahead of where we want to be. And that's why this is so valuable. So thank you so much for teaching a lot of us about bots for the very first time ever, and how awesome they can be.
It's super fun.
I can't wait to brainstorm about how we can use this for our clients.
Talk about it. I can't wait. And I can't wait to squeeze you. I get to see you in real life soon.
Molly is going to be speaking at Social Media Week Austin, and then we are both going to get out of Austin and into San Diego for Social Media Marketing World right after that. So.
And your room is booked, which I forgot to tell you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Cool. We'll talk about that. All right, you guys. Yeah, Shelly, reach out to her for your social media.
I would love that.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, and I will see you soon, Molly.
Okay, bye.
Bye.